And we're rolling. Welcome to the Grease Stain Cinema, where we like our popcorn greasy and we like our movies sleazy. I'm your greasy host, Clint, and I am joined here with a very special person for a very special occasion. We are talking to actor, director, producer, production company founder, uh, puppeteer? Question mark.
Not yet.
Amanda Megan.
Hi, that's me.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I'm well. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Oh well. I was going to say you've been a very busy person.
Yeah, there's
Um,
there's a lot of things happening, but it's all good things, so I'll take
mhm,
it.
mhm. Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this. Long enough, in fact, that it was on a previous show that I was doing.
That's
um,
correct. Yes.
Roughly a year ago. Actually, that interview is still up. I watched it again myself because I'm that kind of dork. I watch my own shows, um, and I I will probably link that in the description of this video, as well as a few things that I think we'll cover when we talk about. Because I like to have a place or the ability for people to look at this and then just follow a link and go look at exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, make it easy for them.
Yeah, as we all should. Um, so not to rehash a bunch of stuff that we've already talked about, because so much has happened since then.
hmm
Um, but Anna Key seems to be doing really well.
Anarchy is doing well. We premiered her last April. Yeah. Wow, almost a year
Yeah.
ago. Oh my goodness. That's wild. Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I met you guys right around then too, I think, like right before we did the premiere. She is still in the festival circuit. We are working on getting distribution so that everybody can watch it and love it as much as we do. Um, yeah, so that's where that's at. Not quite out to the public yet, but on the way.
Yeah. So you directed that for Matt Anderson of Key 13 Films. I did go to that premiere. We promised we would, and Mike bailed, but I went. Um, um, and I met a bunch of the cast,
Mhm.
and I went to the after party, and I even got a poster with a whole bunch of signatures on it.
Oh, let me see. I love
Woo!
it.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. So yours is on there somewhere.
It better
Guaran-
be.
Guaranteed, it's on there. Yeah. So, um, and like I said, the premiere was fun. The after party was great. I met so many people who were
Yeah.
in the cast, and I feel like I should have followed up with that and maybe had a few more of them on my show. But you know,
I mean, you still can. They're all still very active out there. We had a great time. The Waynesboro Theater had the premiere of the film there, and then Trigger's Table and Tap Room did the after party for us, and they were absolutely fantastic. I think we were one of the first ones to do a party there once they reopened, so that was super cool. And I loved being able to help support other filmmakers and other small businesses. Like that's the kind of things that are really close to my heart. So I'm really
yeah,
happy that that went, and not to like pat myself on the shoulder, but man, did I know how to throw a party?
yeah,
I was so worried that it was just going to be so stressful and I'd be running around all over the place, which was partially true. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, I had a great time, and everybody was so just that feeling. I don't even know how to
yeah.
describe it.
It was pretty spectacular. And go
Yeah.
ahead, pat yourself on the shoulder.
Go
You've got
ahead.
my permission. So yeah, I've only seen the movie once. I don't have a copy of it. I don't even know if there are copies available since you guys are seeking distribution.
Not yet,
Um,
but like I said, there will be.
yeah.
I know Matt Anderson is working hard on making that happen too. At least I know that he is because I'm making him. So I
everybody
promise they're coming.
everybody needs a little encouragement, right?
Yeah.
um, so I did spot you in the movie, I think, in perhaps a convenience store scene. Um, you may have been standing in line directly behind our young Anna Key, and I
Yes, I do make a very, very small appearance in the film in a convenience store for maybe 4 seconds.
and I got the impression from your demeanor that perhaps she smelled bad. I I
Something like that. Something like that.
I don't know if that was intentional. I kind of got that vibe a couple times throughout the movie. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys were
Anna
trying to do that on purpose, like make it seem like she wasn't caring for herself or something like that. So,
Yes, and no, Anna is a very carefree spirit, a very chaotic spirit,
mhm,
a young girl who's trying to find her way through life and just hasn't quite found it yet. But over time, she develops these relationships that really define who she wants to be versus who she is during the film. It's a
yeah,
lot about loving yourself and the whole life journey and the people that come in and out of it and like how the ripple effect like we
mhm,
affect each other.
right, right. And I know I've praised this movie before. I did that when I talked to Matt Anderson. There was some interesting um, scene choices and some. I don't want to give anything away, clearly, but she had this epiphany moment that I found very compelling.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm.
so I feel like a lot of the things you guys were trying to do really did come across on film, and and I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but your actress who played Anna was very, very good.
Mhm. Her name is Abigail Hendricks, and if you're able to get her on the show, I fully, fully recommend it. She
Ah,
was magnificent. The energy that she brought to set, and I know she did a lot of one-on-one, kind of like this, like
yeah,
readings with Jesse, and Jesse praises her so much. He's like, if it wasn't for her, like my character would have been shit. Like I did so
nice.
much better because of her, kind of a thing. So,
Yeah,
and I feel like there's a lot of people that she helped bring that out
yeah.
of,
Uh,
and you know what I mean.
yeah, no, and I could totally believe that because I spoke to her briefly at the after party,
Mhm.
and I can only describe her as energetic and positivity incarnate. I
Yeah,
mean,
she is literally Anarchy, like, it was perfect, like, I don't know that we could have found somebody that would have portrayed that role any better than she could have, like, chef's kiss, you know?
yeah, yeah, she definitely seemed to understand the mission.
Mhm,
So, anyhow, that was a very large scale project, and I'm sure it was very challenging.
mm.
And it's kind of my opinion that you can't do something of that magnitude without learning a few things on the way. So I was just curious what your main takeaways might have been from the experience.
Oh my goodness, I learned so much. I learned a lot about myself, I learned a lot about, so up until that point, I hadn't really, like, directed, I had been on, like, multiple sets, I had been in different scenes, different films where I had acted or, like, helped out. I'm one of those people where if you want me to be on set, I'll come on set. I don't need a lead role. I wanna network and I wanna learn things. I love to learn things. There's still a lot of things that I don't know. I don't know a lot of the technical side, but I did get to learn a little bit, like camera stuff from Jordan Miller, who was our main cinematographer, Brad Chang, very technical, another one of our cinematographers, Andrew Stainer, with the sound. That just so many different things. Abby was theater trained, so I learned a lot of different like techniques from watching her and the way she interacted with people. Um, I also learned that one chicken nugget is not going to cut it for the day. You need to feed your director. My
Noted.
one friend my one friend April was on set for one of the weekends with us, and she lovingly, titled herself the Amanda Wrangler, so, "Here's your water, here's your wrap, here's your notepad," whatever you needed.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, almost like an AD.
Kind of, more like a personal assistant. She was more like a
That's right.
personal assistant,
She's a PA. Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah, yeah, but what else did I learn? I learned a lot about, like, the lighting and the different angles and how to, like, actually set a scene and, like, place people, the blocking. That was kind of the first time that I had such a full volume of a script, so how to, like,
Yeah,
kind of break it down. I think my biggest takeaway is actually all of the pre-production that went into it, all of the organization, all of the planning. And that's definitely come in handy recently, but there
Yeah.
were some sets where I had been on where it was just kind of like, we don't know what we're doing, and everybody's kind of everywhere, and everybody's trying to figure it out, like, together, and it may work for some people, but I don't feel like that works for me. So,
Yeah.
that's my biggest takeaway. The planning and pre-production is just as important as every other aspect.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that that it's it's a miracle every time a movie gets made because like those things that you talked about, it's
Mhm.
there's a million ways to make a movie fail. And I'm sure that many of them die in the planning stage.
Mhm. Yep.
So so kudos to all of you for getting it done, and I'm glad it's doing so well.
Yay, me
That's
too.
right. I do want to shout out the Waynesboro Theater. I'm actually kind of falling in love with that place. Um,
Mhm.
I've been to a few things there now, and recently I've just gone back. I love the fact that they are so in tune with the local indie community, and it seems
Mhm.
to be like the place to go now for like Central PA to show up and show a movie. Even some folks in Maryland, I think, have shown them some stuff in there. Um,
Yeah, some folks in Maryland, I think maybe even some from Virginia have too. I
okay.
want, in the worst way, I want Dave Kerr to bring Slasher Nurse there so bad, so bad.
That would be awesome. But did you hear it's coming to Creature Feature in a couple of weeks?
No, when is Creature Feature? What weekend is that?
Um, 28th,
The
something like that.
29th?
Something like that. Yeah, that weekend.
Yeah, of course, it's gonna be the one weekend where I'm away.
Figures. All right. Well,
That is my luck. Everybody needs to stop planning things without talking to me first.
yeah, yeah. I and you brought him up, but I'm just gonna tell you, I love Dave Kerr. I love Slasher 15. They are such a great
Mhm.
group of folks. They have been
He's I
so
don't
nice to
know
me.
him. Yeah, I love him. I don't know him very well, but, like,
Yeah,
we Shannon and I went down to, Carolina Fear Fest, so I actually got to meet him and support them there, and he actually came to the Anna Key premiere. He was there for that, and I didn't know it, I didn't expect it, and I was like, I total fangirled over it.
yeah,
Totally
yeah,
fangirl moment.
yeah. I think I remember that. I think I might
Mhm.
have sat next to him and Mike McGlynn.
Yeah, he was there
Yeah.
with Mike, so yeah, that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And Dave was like, "We didn't tell you to sit there." He's got a fun sense of humor. Um,
Yeah, he seemed it.
yeah. So I went to the mini movie mania that was put on by Shannon Atkins and Matt Burns
Mhm.
at the Waynesboro Theater. Saw a whole bunch of short films. I saw one that had a blurb with you and Shannon in it called The Palindrome.
Correct,
Um,
yes.
um, Bone Johnson did it
Yep.
again.
He did it again. He made another short film and it was so much fun. We all met up at Triggers that day to film some stuff and, have spent some time with each other. Shannon brought her son, Jesse Russell were there. I actually brought my boyfriend. My boyfriend makes a small appearance in the film too.
That's cool.
Um, I don't know who else was in the film, but it was a fun time. We had a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, yeah. I saw Shannon's son in there. Unfortunately, he didn't make out so well, but that's
Neither did the
okay.
boyfriend, so
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm glad they showed their support by sacrificing
yeah.
themselves for your art.
Right? It's important, it's important. You have to
That-
have a supportive partner. It
that's
may
right.
mean that you're a dead body or you get bloody, but it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, and 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 I felt that it turned out really well. And I found out um, that Bone actually just worked with what he had
Mhm,
and kind of maneuvered on the fly and took the project in a different direction to deal with what he had to work with. So, what I mean by that is his audio wasn't very good, and he said, "How do I fix this?"
yeah.
And he decided to take more of a silent film approach, which I thought was amazing. That worked really remarkably well. So,
Yeah, I haven't actually watched it yet, it is on my to-do list. I have the YouTube link, like, right at the top of it so that
mm,
I can take a peek and we can watch. I know,
I
don't tell
was
Bone.
I was gonna say I'm gonna link it in this video. So,
Perfect, even
if
better, even
if
better.
you lose the link, you'll find it
Yeah.
here.
they sent me the link so I could watch it, so I sent it to my boyfriend Joe, so I'm like, "Hey, this is the film that you were in," and then I never watched it.
Well, you've had a lot going on, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Uh, I did see a film there by Justin Adams. I do not believe you were in that one, uh, but you have been in other projects of his.
Correct, yeah, he showed Seasons Bleedings there, and Seasons Bleedings actually has, like, 2 or 3 parts to it. I
Mhm.
was in one of them, but I don't think it was the one that was showing. I think the original one is the one
Yeah,
that was showing.
yeah.
And then I was in the one he did most recently called You're Mine Now.
Yes, and I watched Your Mind Now. I also watched Frosty's Revenge Seasons Bleeding Part
Yes, that's
3.
the one.
You were in Part 3,
Mhm.
um, and I actually kind of enjoyed those. I enjoyed Your Mind Now. That was a pretty cool story. Um,
Mhm.
I I'm getting used to his style. Um,
Mhm.
his filmmaking is interesting,
Yeah.
and
It's he's an eccentric person, and I don't mean that like, I mean that in a good way. He's very
Mhm.
much got his own style and his own take on things, and
Yeah.
he's very much the kind of person where he wants to learn and he wants to do better, and every film
Mhm.
that he's done has consistently gotten better, and Your
Yes.
Mind Now is, like, the peak right now, so I can't wait to see what he does to, like, beat that one out.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, at the moment, it feels very, like, raw, but, like, there's something endearing about that. Um,
Mhm.
it feels like, I don't know, it almost seems like shot on video, and I
Yeah.
don't know what kinda camera he used, but if it it almost felt like old '90s or early 2000s camcorder, like, I don't know if he was
Yeah,
doing
it
that.
definitely has that feel to it.
Yeah, and, and I noticed some things about it. Not so much in Your Mind Now, but in the Frosty's Revenge stuff, like
Mhm.
like all the autofocus stuff and some of like the light correction that the camera does on its own. And I was, and it was kind of messing me up. I was like, was that a cut? Was this a fade in? Like, no, I think maybe that's an auto feature of the camera, but
Mhm.
um, he also seems to have an interesting sense of humor.
He
Um,
does. He's a very good friend of mine. I love making films with him. He's a wonderful person. I don't even know how to describe him. He's Justin. Like, he would give you the shirt off of his back in a heartbeat if you needed it.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, in Season Bleeding 3, he left an action part in there. Like they did scene setup, and he's like, "Oh, you ready? Action!" and then fell on the
Yeah.
ground. I was like, I was like, "Is that his sense of humor coming through?" Like, I
Probably.
feel like he left it in there on purpose.
Yeah, right? So I just wanted to see if you guys were paying attention.
Yeah, yeah. And the way I understand it, he's planning on being at Creature Feature and
I
showing
believe they're
his short.
showing I believe they're showing Your Mind Now at Creature Feature too.
I think so. I think that's the
That's
one.
I think
Yeah,
so. That's exciting.
yeah.
I don't think any of his films have been at a showing like that yet, so that's fantastic for him.
Yeah, yeah. It absolutely is. I so I'll probably duck in and watch that one because it would be really
Yeah.
cool just to see it on the big screen. You know what I
I
mean?
might be able to pop in, like, Friday night. I don't think I have to actually leave until Saturday, but I feel like I'm gonna miss
Ah,
all the cool stuff on Saturday, so
yeah, yeah, yeah. Very possible. Very possible. Well, it's a shame that you're going to be away. Um,
yeah, it's here.
yeah, I know. Um, I did see something else. I went to a premiere of this at the Waynesboro Theater. Blood
Yeah,
and
Blood and Breakfast,
Breakfast.
I was there.
Yeah, you were there. And this, of course, was a Mark Byrne,
Mark Byrne,
um,
yeah, of Absurd,
Absurd Production Pictures. Yes.
yes.
Um, and I've seen a few of his movies now, and I really feel like he's doing the same thing. He's getting better with each movie that he makes, and I
Mhm,
really feel like Blood and Breakfast is his best film to date.
mhm,
Um,
yeah. That was my first time actually working with Mark, and it was a good experience. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I loved working with him. I love when I get to see his wife, Donna. They're very kind people, very open people, very friendly people. Like I felt, most importantly, I felt safe and I felt respected. Um, he knew what he was doing. He, you know, he made sure the quality of the sound was good, the quality of our scene was good. We took as many takes as we needed to. He took ideas from us, and like those are the things that I appreciate about a director, and the things that I hope I'm able to do for my people. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it definitely. Um, I think it speaks well of a director who's willing to work with their actors and
mhm,
not just take a hard line and say no, no, no. This is what I want, you know, and not be open to taking suggestions
mhm.
or modifying slightly to maximize the strengths of what he has to work with.
Right.
So or she. I'm sorry.
We forgive you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember when Shannon walked out of the theater after the movie was over. I said something to the effect, "Sorry, relationship didn't work out." Um,
She was probably so confused. She's like, "What?" Like
I,
I can literally picture the tone of her voice and her face.
it took her
What?
a second, but she laughed. So, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, watch the movie.
Right?
Yeah. Um, and now I'm flashing back to the last time we talked, and we were talking about Crickfoot. You said that you were filming something for Mark Byrne, and you on the same day decided to film your Crickfoot thing. Was this what you
Mhm.
were filming? The blood and
Yes.
breakfast thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So
Isn't
you
it
had a
cool how it all like comes together?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you had a full day.
Yeah, we did. We had a full film fun day.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, so you started the day running through the woods, ended the day hitting Ricky Bredenbeck in the face. Uh,
That's the best description. Yes, that
I'm
is what
sure
happens, but
fond
if you
memory
wanna
of
know the content, please go watch Crickfoot.
it. Yes, Legend of Crickfoot. Um, so I ran into you August of last year
Yes,
at a little festival or yeah,
at Gross
oh,
Fest,
oh
yeah.
Gross Fest, yeah,
Yeah, you met
that's
my
right,
mama.
yeah. Tim and Tom Gross put on their nice little independent film festival with meet and greet and vendor tables and all that, just like a regular convention, but it's all indie and I love that. I plan to go
Mhm,
back. I haven't reserved my room or anything yet, but I am planning to go this coming
mhm,
August. And so yeah, I saw you there, met your mama, met a whole bunch of other people that were really
mhm.
cool. Um, and I picked up something at your table.
The Blue Hole,
The
yes!
blue hole.
The Blue Hole, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. I don't know where this movie is now, but I was very pleased to get a copy of it then, and I have watched it.
Oh,
Actually, I watched it again recently. Um,
you had to do your research, I get it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you know, you forget a lot. You know, if you watch something one time and then a year later you're trying to
Mhm,
remember what the hell it is you watched, I was like, oh my god, well, I better go look at it again.
right.
Um, I actually had a really good time with the Blue Hole. I mean, it's one of those things where like you almost had no idea what was going on, but you,
Yeah.
but you,
Dave keeps you guessing.
yeah, but you thought you did. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I spent most of it thinking, oh, there's this killer running around, you know, and then they just changed things up on me. Like the
Mhm.
end, um,
Did you
the
expect the ending to be what it was?
no, no,
Not at all?
the ending was batshit crazy, um,
Yes.
and as crazy as Joel Wynkoop.
You have no idea how deep this runs or how high up it goes!
Yes.
Um, but it was nice. It was a nice surprise.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, well, what's that? Then I had to
Yeah.
read the headlines and the credits, and I was like, wait a
Yeah, you
second.
did. To figure out what was happening. Yeah, that was an interest it took us a really long time to get it done, but it was so worth it in the end.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so you did play a character who was
Mm.
trying to climb the ladder, so to speak. by having a unprofessional relationship with your boss. And I think your characters came across pretty well. He played exactly what I expect a character who would do that to be.
Yeah, his name is Jacob Kane.
Your work is already halfway done.
He was great to work with, and he really brought that character to life. This is gonna sound so bad, but like he played a douche really well.
Okay, I was trying not to say that.
I'll say it for you. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You might have to edit that out later, but
that's fine. It's fine. It's acting. It's all acting.
But it was cool because he was great to work with, and then his girlfriend Kim was on set a couple of times too to help out. So it was great that like the families were so involved. And the person that kind of helped make all of this happen, his name is Dave Castiglione. I met him through Matt Cannon, who did another short called Open House. And then things just kind of spiraled from there. And then I was in the Blue Hole. And Dave is absolutely wonderful to work with. The water scenes, Dave actually took us, what's it called? Tubing? Where you sit in little tubes and you float down the river.
Yeah.
He took us tubing that day so that we could film all the water stuff.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was super fun day. The water was very cold, so.
Oh wow, I expect that, especially in the Northeast.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up the Sibylla 6. I know that you were on that project, very early on, basically from the beginning of it. This was the brainchild of. Shannon Atkins.
Yeah, there you go. I was like, I'm not helping you. I'm just gonna let her attack you if you can't get this.
my brain just went whoop. So anyhow, you offered to help with like behind the scenes stuff, some assistant directing stuff, possibly.
For Sibylla 6, yeah. So that is Shannon's, like you said, her little baby. Sibylla 6. It's basically, quick synopsis. Dangers of online dating, right? If you're a Strangeland fan, similar to that, just our style. So yeah, I don't even remember how the conversation went. Long story short, I ended up helping Shannon a lot behind the scenes, almost as like a mentor at first, and then it kind of blossomed into the assistant directing. So I was on set for almost every single shooting day. Not every single, but pretty close to it, like 95%. So
yeah.
So we have wrapped that up. And I know that we're hoping for an October premiere for that. We're probably going to do it the same kind of way we did Anarchy, where like we show the film and then have some kind of after party. We're hoping to do it around Halloween, but I can't guarantee that yet. So,
well, that's all right. I will keep my eyes open, and hopefully I can stay in the know.
I'm sure it'll be everywhere once we know. So,
I'm sure it will. So you had teased this before also, and I was looking and I didn't see a lot of information on it, but I know a little bit about the project. Matt Anderson had These Things as something is that something you're still involved with?
Yeah, so I was actually the intimacy coordinator for that, and I did make a small cameo in that film as well. That is also in the editing bay now, so coming soon.
I had a terrible thought. I'm sorry.
I probably already know the thought, so it's okay.
Yeah. No. You said intimacy coordinator, and my brain immediately went to what I saw on IMDb. So that's why I said puppeteer. You're listed as puppeteer, and on the IMDb credits. Yes.
For These Things? Oh, well, okay. I thought you were thinking of a different film, but that's still kind of true. So, okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know how to I don't know how to explain that without like giving a bunch of stuff away.
Nope. I'm good with it. We'll just move on.
Yeah, we'll just you know what? Yeah, it's actually that's pretty perfect. I was the intimacy coordinator and puppeteer. So.
Charge it.
That's fun, Nikki. And you?
My name is Anthony Peter Coleman, formerly Private First Class.
So,
All right.
You know what, though? That sounds about right for my life. Like,
Uh,
this
yeah.
year has been absolutely wild. And there was a day where my car died and I needed to get a tow truck, and then my tow truck needed a tow truck.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, and then we were out over this past weekend, and it's St. Patrick's Day, and some guy, Joe knew him, but the guy hands us random, like some drunk guy handed us sheep, like little plastic sheep. And I was like, I
That is
don't understand this, but you know what? It checks out. It checks out.
well, that is perfect. You were given sheep because of black sheep.
Right? Isn't that the
Yeah.
best like segue ever?
Yes, it
And I'm not
is.
even making it up. The picture is on my Facebook.
I saw it. I was like, that's great. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the comments, there were so many people that were like, you need to paint one black.
exactly. Exactly. I agree. That needs to happen. So Black Sheep, is that that's your film company, right?
That's
The
my baby. Yep.
Dancing Demons, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is this the first one?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Um, how did this come about? I seem to recall you saying you got stuck at a steakhouse with Shannon, and you guys were working out ideas for stuff.
That is true, but that had nothing to do with Black Sheep that day. We ended up with a lot of
Okay.
other really wild ideas.
Okay.
Some involved dinosaurs, some involved mermaids. It was just all over the place. It was a very long but entertaining lunch.
Okay.
Black Sheep actually came to me while I was sitting out back with my parents one evening, afternoon, whatever. We like to sit out back on the patio around the bonfire, have a drink or two, and just kind of chill and enjoy each other's company. And they're very, very supportive of my like film journey. And I don't know, the idea just came to me. I don't know what the conversation was, but I was like, I want to make some kind of story or film or something where it kind of tells us why we use a red carpet. And so my idea started out as like a red carpet origins kind of idea where like some sort
Okay.
of premiere and like people die and then the carpet ends up all red and blah blah blah. And then so that's what the idea started as.
Okay.
And then over time, you grow through things, you learn through things, you hear other stories. And so the more I heard other people's stories, the more it's like, wow, that sounds an awful lot like my story or another story that I've heard or what have you. Like a lot of the things that happen in Black Sheep are things that other actors or filmmakers or whatever have also experienced. I'm not telling other people's like stories for them. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm putting their business out there because I'm not. It's because I've been through it too. Or somebody talked to me and gave me permission to use their story. So that's how it started. And that's kind of what it like blossomed into. And the whole self-sabotage thing, imposter syndrome thing, right? You get
Yeah.
this really great idea and you're like, I've never made a movie. I've never done this. I'm nobody, which is really dumb because I have like how many awards from Anna Key, but like the brain doesn't do what the brain is supposed to do sometimes. So I kind of let it go to the wayside a little bit. And then Russell Sage Patrick, who's one of my best friends, we went to a concert. It was Adelita's Way, and they were playing at a bar near me called Love Drafts. And one of their opening bands was Brendan Starr. And at the end of Brendan's set, he played a song called Top of the World. And when I heard this song, like I just like stopped dead in my tracks because the only thing I could picture was the end scene to Black Sheep. And when I was picturing it, I pictured Shonda Rawlings. So that song is part of why this is happening. Like it was like the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess. So that song is like a
Okay.
huge like motivational factor into why this happened. And Brendan is actually letting us use that song for part of the film. So make sure that everybody goes and checks him out too. I'll send you some of his links. He's on Spotify.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
So yeah, so
Maybe
that's how that all started and how we got here.
fantastic. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names getting rolled into the project. At what point did DJ Patton get involved?
Super early, super
Okay.
early. He has been like my right-hand man throughout the entire pre-production thing. I met DJ on the set of Massacre Academy in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been really good friends ever since then. We keep in touch. We do like monthly phone calls as much as we can because he's just as crazy as I am and works ridiculous hours.
Mhm.
So I was talking about this idea and he was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was like, I just got chills. And I was like, okay, great, because I want you involved like as much as possible for this. Because
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in like I don't want to do it alone. I need a good team. I need to be able to delegate and I need to make sure that that team is like top notch, you know? And DJ has been absolutely great, has had so many ideas, has helped keep me on track, I've helped keep him on track. Like this would not have happened without him, without all of the people that are involved, honestly. But he has been a huge, huge, huge part of this. And I was actually I made a mental note in my head. I was like, I need to make sure that I mention this.
Yeah.
I didn't want him
Yeah.
to feel left out. He needs a shout out for this. So
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, I'm glad. It really seems like you've got a lot of people who care about, this project, pushing it forward and,
mhm.
breathing life into it and manifesting it to be a reality.
Yeah, like it's so like DJ and I spent a good year on just pre-production before we even started casting. So we put a lot of love, a lot of energy, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there are a few names that I'm not familiar with on it, but I mean the ones that I do know, I mean, Anne Myrna's awesome. Um,
Mhm,
with the Acrostar films, Shonda Rawlings, one of my favorites from Slasher 15,
mhm.
um, Kay Leahy or Leahy, however you want to say
I
that.
believe it's Leahy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I, I, yeah, I think I do that, and I screwed it up anyway.
It's okay. We'll forgive you. We'll forgive you for you get one. Everybody gets one.
I hope so. In fairness, I think I do it every time, and I
Probably.
haven't been able to stop myself. But Jordan Hunley, she was in these things, right?
She was, yes. So
Yeah,
was Kay.
that's right, she was.
Mhm,
And Chris Ridings,
mhm,
I'm seeing him a lot,
mhm,
running into him places too. So
mhm.
um, he might be a fun guy to talk to at some point. And this one kind of surprised me. Peter Anthony hopped on just recently.
Yeah, just recently. I
Yeah,
have not worked with him yet, so I'm excited to check that out.
yeah,
I'm so excited for the cast and crew that we have. They're all super
yeah.
talented. It was so hard to go through all the auditions. Everybody, everybody really put their A game like forward, but these people like stood out the most. These were the ones that were like, we need them, you know.
Yeah.
Not that we don't need everybody else, but like for this project, these are our people, you know.
Mhm.
There are some that I've worked with quite a few times, but I wanted to make sure that we got other people involved too. Again, I believe in like the networking. Your net worth is only as good as your network, and your network doesn't grow if you don't talk to other people and you don't get other people involved. Not that I don't love our DMV area, but like there are other actors in other states too. So I want to branch out a little bit and get them involved.
Yeah, yeah. And your crowdfunder is still up.
Yes, it will be up until probably sometime in May, but we are adding perks weekly. There are a couple of secret perks available right now. So hit us up
Mhm.
about those. I'll send you that link too so you can post it if you don't already have it. You probably already have it because I'm sure
Yeah.
I sent it to you. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, that
I've
is
got it
still going
somewhere.
strong. We'll see how we do and how long we need to keep it going for. So
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
make sure I can pay my people. So help me pay my people.
That's right. We want to see this go in demand. You
Yes.
know,
Yes,
then you
yes.
can
We were trending
crowdfund.
for like the first like 3 days. So that was pretty the wildest part. Um Black Sheep was on their trending page, right? Right next to the Mahal brothers. And like I don't know the Mahal brothers. I've never worked with them, but I know enough about them and like whoa. Like
Yeah,
whoa. It was so
yeah,
cool. So cool.
yeah. They are fundraising masters.
Yeah, I'll say.
So yeah, and they always manage to get plenty
They
of money
blow it out of the
available
water
for.
every time.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, I'm excited. I think I signed on for like a Blu-ray perk or something lame like that. But it's like it's my little contribution. I like to help out a
Yeah,
little
every
bit.
penny counts, even if you can't afford one of the perks that are on there. If you want to just donate like
Yeah.
$2, $5, any amount, that's
Mhm.
fine. We will take whatever help we can get.
Absolutely. All right. So when the crowdfunder's over, I'm sure that's when all the real pre-production pains go into place. And
We intend to start filming in June. So
June.
and then it'll
Okay.
depend on we have a 10-day shooting schedule at the moment. So it'll really depend on when we wrap that up and then what editing looks like. So I don't have an estimated release date at this time, but trust me, everybody will know when I do.
I'm certain we will. I did spot a couple other things I did want to ask you about. It's just curiosities, like and if you say, oh, that's no longer happening, we'll move on. Killed on Arrival. Is that something that is I saw you written as a character, Emma Lynn?
Yes, I did play Emma Lynn in Killed on Arrival. That was kind of in hiatus for a couple of years. And I believe Matt Burns has gotten it to Bone Johnson for editing. So other than that, I don't have any other updates at the moment. That was the last I've heard.
Yeah. All this stuff kind of looked like it was in post-production, so that can mean anything.
Yeah.
Spirit Board, Doorway to Death. Played Katie.
Spirit Board is Sean Wright's next film. We are trying to raise the funds to do that as well. So if you loved Night of the Axe, if you really loved anything that Sean Wright or his group of people have done, reach out. Help us get Spirit Board made also. I have a really, really cool character in that one, and I'm absolutely dying to do it. So no pun intended, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to check out Sean's page to find out if he's got anything out there about like crowdfunding and stuff.
Yeah, I think he tried to do some kind of crowdfunder last year, and I don't think that we reached the goal we were going for. So I'm hoping that we get to try again this year.
Yeah. That would be cool. I'd hate to see that, project
yeah, it's a really cool
flounder
concept.
for much longer.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really cool concept, and he's a great guy to work with.
Yeah. I won't press you too much about Heavy Duty Man because I feel like I've heard a few things behind the scenes about the upsetting things with
Long
that.
story short, also in editing.
Exactly. So at some point I'll try to talk to Tom Toohey and offer him some words of encouragement.
There you go.
and I only got to bring this one up because I think your character's name is ridiculous. There's a movie, Stoner Snake. Paula want a cracker?
Yes.
I remember seeing that campaign open. Did you film?
We did film it, yeah.
Okay.
That's actually Daryl Hook's project, I believe. It's my first time working with him. It was a remote role, and we had a whole group of people get together to make that one scene come to life, and it is as ridiculous as it sounds. I had an absolute blast doing it. Absolute blast. Like when you watch that scene, you're gonna be like, I wish I was there for that.
I'm wishing it already. That's great. Yeah, that one did look interesting. And I do remember the crowdfunder being open, and I don't think that I got involved in it, which is a real shame. I always kick myself later for not getting involved in some projects, but I will keep my eyes open to see if I get updates on that one.
Good.
So if you got a couple more minutes, I'd like to hop into what I call the lightning round. Got a couple of questions that I just throw out for fun.
Okay.
I feel like I got to modify them a little bit for you because I've been telling them to people who just act, not all these other wonderful hats you wear.
Gotcha. Okay.
So what would you say has been the most challenging thing that you've had to do on a movie?
The most challenging thing that I've had to do on a movie. That's a tough one. There's been a lot of challenging things, but I don't know that I would, like, looking back on them, I don't consider them challenging anymore. It was just kind of like in the moment kind of like deal, you know what I mean? I feel like probably the hardest part is always like scheduling and actually getting it together, making it happen. I'm gonna say There's been a couple of like implied like sex scenes that I've done. Those are always the most challenging because you feel more vulnerable and there's a lot of other people there and a lot of other factors that play into it. So I've never had a bad experience. So I'm very grateful for that. But I
That's
do
good.
think that that was probably the most challenging because it also requires like a lot of um, confidence, like getting out of your head, a lot of good body image kind of things. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess I could follow that with what would you consider one of your greatest victories on a movie?
I have to go with the Anna Key premiere.
Mhm.
I'm
That
still
makes
waiting for
sense.
something to top that. So hopefully Black Sheep will be it.
That's right. That's right. What's the most fun that you think you've ever had on a set?
Oh my goodness. It would have to be between a Crickfoot and Stoner Snake. Like there's a toss up there. There's a toss
Yeah,
up there. I think I
yeah.
would go with Crickfoot though, because we had a little bit more creative. What's the word? Creative,
License.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, the creative license to do kind of like whatever we wanted, and it was I don't even know how I got Ricky. Well, I had this crazy idea and I messaged Ricky and I was like, "Hey, this is my idea. You want in?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then we
yeah,
just went and did our thing and it was so it was ridiculous, but it
yeah.
was so fun.
And you got to hit him in the face, so that was
I
cool.
did. I don't know that I can beat that. Like that's yeah. How many times do you get to do that in your lifetime?
Right, right. Well, twice if you're lucky. Um, so, out of all of your experiences and maybe some ambitions for the future, do you have either a dream role or a dream project that you want to do?
Um, I would love to play a villain. That's been one that I've said consistently throughout different like podcasts. I would absolutely love to play a villain. For like a decent role, that really gets me out of like my comfort zone because I'm usually the kind of person that everybody goes to for help. The people I take care of people. So I feel like it would be so different for me to not be me. The whole point of acting.
Yeah.
As far as a dream film, dream project, I'd want to do a comedy. I'd want to do a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that they're very challenging and hard to do, and I like challenges. I like to overcome challenges, so I kinda took it as a, "Well, now I need to make one."
Yeah. I've heard that's challenging too. I mean, because a lot of people think that they can deliver a punchline and find out how difficult it is to do that.
Yeah,
Like,
and I already know I'm not funny, so that's gonna be really tough.
yeah, I'm not that funny, only in certain situations.
Right, what I don't plan to be.
That's right. That's right. I have the what they call dry humor. Um,
Mhm.
um, are there any upcoming appearances that you'd like to promote while you're here?
Yes, actually, I'm gonna be at Fourth State, Comic-Con in Hagerstown, at the end of April. I believe it's the 26th and 27th, so
Oh,
come find me there.
cool.
Um, Black Sheep is gonna have a table somewhere. I don't remember where. DJ
Somewhere.
was making that happen. We're gonna have flyers out at different events too. I know Shonda is gonna be at Bones Bazaar Market thing on May 17th, and I think that one's in Quakertown. So I'm trying to get into the Carlisle Comic Con too. So I'll keep you posted on that one. I
Okay.
gotta make some phone calls, but
Yeah, hell, that
I'm
one's
hoping
really
I can make
close for
that.
me.
Yeah. Scotty that did Samhain, he's gonna
Yeah,
be there too. So I'm kind of gonna try to, name drop like, hey, I was in his movie, so I need to be there too.
that's right. That's right.
Plus,
Um,
I'm from Carlisle, so like, come on.
yeah. Yeah. That takes me back to our conversation at Gross Fest. You mentioned Carlisle, and I said, "Oh, it's my hometown." You said, "I'm sorry,"
Yeah, that sounds about right.
and I couldn't help but agree with you.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to make a appearance at Gross Fest again this year too. I gotta iron out my schedule a little bit yet though, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds awesome. And so, what's the best way for people to get updates on what you've got going on? Is that social media?
Yeah, I would say most of my stuff is on Facebook. My Facebook is public. Anybody can go on there, take a peek at what's happening. There is a Black Sheep group as well, so feel free to send a request to join that. That's where all the Black Sheep posts will be. Sibylla 6 has a group going still as well, so you can get all of those updates. I also have an Instagram. I'm not there on, I'm not, words are hard. I'm not on there as much, but it exists. But Facebook would be the number one way.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on to the show. It's been a long time since we did this. I'm glad you came back. Must mean I was okay the first time.
I survived, so yeah.
And I had a really great time talking to you, and it's always great to catch up. At some point, I think I made a promise to have you and Shannon on together, so I'm going to try to coordinate that at some point.
Yeah, that needs to
because-
happen. That's going to get
yeah.
wild, so prepare yourself.
Yeah, she said, for some reason, nobody wants to talk to us. And I was like, bullshit, I'm going to have you on.
I think they want to. I think they're afraid to. I think they'd like the two of them at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I don't know about that.
it's like when worlds collide, you know what I mean? It's
Right.
unexplainable forces that you don't know how to control, you know?
We are a force to reckon with, yes.
Exactly. All right. Well, I just want to say on my way out of here, you don't need a big budget to make a badass movie. Cut!